Welcome to the 212th broadcast of the T-ROH Show, folks. This is your host, Keith. I got some stuff to talk about tonight that a lot of military is probably going to hate me for, but that's all right. I've used to people hating me, especially when I tell the truth. And a little bit about recent events that we've all witnessed, and a little bit about the T-ROH Show as far as the website's concerned. So let's start there. Been doing a little work on this. This was from the server crash, so we're getting there. As far as I'm trying to move us down a little bit, getting it back together. So we got the videos of the Dark Light series written by Stuart Best. I'm on 4 there. I'm gonna be doing those myself. Special editions of the T-ROH Show. Here's the shows in order from the latest to the first show, and then we've got this series right here. This is probably one of the best books I've ever read. It's over and above the Law of Nations. And we'll go. I'm on video 4. I go. They're about a half hour piece. I read about 10 pages on each one, and go through my own experiences, also with what's written in the book. The book is very accurate as it pertains to the other side. Okay, we're talking about heaven, hell, and all that. It's a very accurate book. So the I don't know why he called it Dark Light, but I do get it somehow, uh, because you have to accept the both good and bad when you're dealing with issues, and he does talk about that quite a bit. So, but anyway, hope you enjoy that, the Dark Light series. It's something that explains the New World Order. It explains a lot of things that are going on today. A completely different way of looking at the Bible. And for those people that are sick of listening to the lies of the churches, you might want to follow that series. Okay, there's another rumor going around. Let's talk about that rumor. That Trump is going to be the 19th president, and that he's going to be the one from 1871 because the corporation's gone, and the government's in the hands of the military, and all this other stuff. Okay. Now let's go back and find out if that's true. Here's the act, February 21st, 1871. Now here, what's the claim? The claim is that, the Constitution was replaced and turned into a corporation. They turned the United States into a corporation. Absolutely not true. That didn't happen at all when you read the act. Here it is, that all and part of the territory of the United States, including that within the limits of the District of Columbia, be and the same is hereby created into a government by the name of the District of Columbia, and by which it is hereby constituted a body corporate for municipal purposes. See, it's a corporation, Keith. See. Yes, I see that they made a municipal corporation. It may contract and be contracted with, sue and be sued, plead and be impleaded, have a seal and exercise all powers, other powers of the municipal corporation not inconsistent with the Constitution and laws of the United States and the provisions of this act. Now, if we all want to believe that the Constitution was all passed and everything was wonderful, we can live under that delusion. Even under that delusion, it still did not change the Constitution and laws of the United States at that time. It did not put "we the people" in all caps, so it became a corporation. People became persons and all this other kind of crap. That's all garbage that was spewed by a group named Rusa that were trying to create a government within a government and control the whole thing from the inner government. That's what they were doing. I've proven that in the T-ROH Show, and they all did that. So they had to come up with a story that they were the real one because it was a Christian government before that. And I can tell you right now, it never was. Never had anything to do with Christianity. Never had anything to do with religion. Okay, so in your First Amendment, you would think that they keep calling it a Christian government. I'm not bashing the Christians at all. I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ, and I'm not gonna and Yahushua. To me, it's the same man. And I don't do that. But you have these guys that say you can't. Here's the hypocrisy in it. If you can't, Congress cannot establish a religion, how do you have a Christian government? Come on, folks. Think. It's the same as how can you have the first woman vice president if you can't say the word? If it's been stricken from the congressional records by Pelosi, how can you say the word your first woman vice president? You can't. Stricken from the record. Can't even say the word. Isn't that what Pelosi did? Isn't that what Biden did? Isn't that what happened on the White House website? That they struck, oh, we need to know your pronoun. Okay. So now we know where that crazy came from, right? Okay, so it's been sitting here in front of you this whole time I've been talking, and it did not replace anything, did not change anything. So, folks, just please stop falling for that kind of crap. He's not going to be, he's gone. And this is what people don't get. They're being told that everything's in the hand of the military. Well, why isn't Biden why isn't the military giving Biden anything and blah, blah, blah? Who says they're not? Can you prove that they're not doing that? Can anybody prove they're not doing it? The only thing I've seen today is that the Treasury doesn't have anybody filled in it. Well, you need Treasury for anyways. It's the freaking Federal Reserve. That you got to worry about. Okay, so what I'm saying is this: you can't just sit back. Okay, we all sat there and watched. We all sat there and watched. Okay, a man who everybody knows won. Everyone knows that. The whole world knows it. We all sat back and watched a military and a National Guard stab their commander-in-chief in the back. Everybody watched it. Because if he had more votes, he actually won. They sat there and watched Antifa storm everything. We told you right from the beginning that's what they were going to do, or that's what they did. We actually did it on that day. Okay? Let me show you. Okay, here's the Dems order Antifa to invade the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. city-state to hide election fraud. They were about to bring the election fraud out. They had an enormous amount of evidence, over 11,000 affidavits. Every judge in the country ignored it because they're all New World Order. They had all this stuff. You had two guys coming up and they were getting ready to object. And what did they do? Oh, here's Antifa invading the Capitol building. How convenient. Right at around that time. Military watched this. They watched it happen. They knew who it was. Then they come in and in order to get people not upset, I've shown people this already. They started with all these stories. Oh, well, this was guys that were, in the Secret Service, and they were getting evidence, to get people, blah, blah, blah. All this crap. Killed four people, though, by the way. And then we've got other notices we put out. International public notice of non-recognition of Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. and Kamala Harris. We don't recognize you. We know you. We know that you stole stuff, so we don't recognize you. You don't see the Pentagon coming out and saying that, do they? Do you? You don't see them doing it. You don't see anybody else coming out and doing that. I'm just telling you. So we're not traitors, right? I'm just saying it the way it is. Then what do? We put our butts on the line because we know what's getting ready to happen, and we know what the military is not going to do about it, and we know what the National Guard's not going to do about it. So they turn their back on Biden. Who gives a crap? Okay, nobody cares because they're protecting them. They're protecting the perpetrators that stole it. and they protect them, and they're protecting China to help the steal, and that's it. Then they come, oh, there's a plan in place. No, there's no plan. Q's been debunked. It's all done. Everybody knew it was a freaking joke. I said this 2 years ago that Q was bullshit. I said there's nothing, and I've said for 4 years, Hillary's still not in jail, guys. Oh, well, she's dead. She's been replaced. Sure, she was. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that woman in the purple dress with Bill falling asleep during Sleepy Joe's freaking speech. Yeah, sure. Those two people are dead. Oh, well, they're not the same because they're different heights. It's crap. It's all crap, folks. We're just telling you. Don't quit falling for that junk. It's a psyop. All right? You got to realize that. We had to come out, and all those inhabitants that supported Trump, aka Trump supporters, are hereby classified as peaceful inhabitants. We have to put this out because I know what's coming for them. I know what's getting ready to happen to them. I lived it. Y'all understand that? I live this stuff, and I lived it every day, and I still live it today. I know exactly what's coming for them, and it's not going to be pretty. Guys, you think you're stalked now? You ever heard of gang stalking by cops? So when they go real slow in front of your house, and then they speed up, then they turn around and come back real slow. They go real fast, and then they slow way down in front of your house. It's to let you know we're watching you, and it's intimidation tactics. Everywhere you go, everything you do. When you go to the store, they find you. They'll follow you. They're jackasses. That's what Dems do. That's what communists do. You could be the nicest guy in the world, doesn't matter. They'll do this. I know what's coming for you. So we have to do this, okay? And I know that all the peaceful inhabitants, I know that there were 2 separate rallies. I know that the people that were at the Trump rally had no idea this other crap was going on at the time. I know that. But that's okay. They set you up anyways. You got blamed for it anyways. They don't care about that. They don't care about truth. They only care about what gives them power. Everyone knows right now that Biden's and his son are already setting up pay to play. They're already doing it. They haven't been there 3 days. Okay? They're pay to play. They already have his son on a hot mic talking about a plea deal he made. For what? All the crap that he's been doing. All the crap that was on his, I told you it would all go away. They just did a plea deal and that was it. I told you that that's the reason why they were doing it. So it'll all go away. There's no military coup. It isn't in the hands of the military. They'll come back and say, well, why isn't the military, why aren't they cooperating with them and all this other stuff? They're on our side. No, they're not. The military's on the military side. Not anybody else's side but them. I know. I've been around them for the last 10, 11 years. I've watched them. They've tried to infiltrate us 4 or 5 times. And I know what they do. And I know you're just going to have to realize how you're getting played, man. Now, I might be dead wrong, and they're getting ready to, pop these people or whatever they're going to do. But we were told, everybody was told that 4 years ago, weren't they? Hillary was going to be in jail. Lock her up. She ain't in jail. She didn't give a damn. She flipped the finger at you. She's telling you can't touch me. And nothing has to be in place. There's no magic this or magic that. There's no plan. It never was. Other than to flip the country to communism. It's a great benefit to be in the military, especially if you're in a communist country. Huge benefit. It's not a bad job. All right. So, classifies all Trump supporters, the government of the United, hereby classifies all peaceful inhabitants based on the following evidence. And in all attacks against Trump supporters and on their political views, including but not limited to immigration, border wall, WHO, walkout, climate change, or any other political views considered war crimes. Now, you're going to say, well, how are you going to get this done? The people. You guys are going to have to get off your dead ass, man, and start doing something. You got to get out from under the TV. All right, you just got to do it. You're going to have to get something done here. We can only risk our lives so many times. Now, this is what we're also doing. We told you I think it was last time, that our jurisdiction was where I think we explained our jurisdiction. Let me know if we didn't. There was a mirror image of it in Title 28. I believe we did. However, we're writing executive orders to reverse all this kind of crap because we're just as tired of it as everybody else is. So, coming from the president for the United States of America, reopen businesses and churches, start opening them up. Here's the link and here's the signature. This is already put in the National Great Registry. That all businesses and churches are hereby ordered to reopen without restrictions within the states of the Union and the United States of America. And all orders to the contrary are hereby classified as canceled foreign instruments, thereby issued by an unauthorized and foreign totalitarian dictatorship. It's coming directly from China, folks. No peaceful inhabitant is required to close their business nor cancel their church services. You are not being civil disobedient from anybody over here. You're doing it against China. Nobody in office today has an Article 6 oath. They all work for China. Got it? It's here. It's being done. All right. Here's another one. Oh, by the way, this was the governor of the District of Columbia. It's a separate governor, and he's appointed by the president. So, just letting you know. Forgot to show you that after the District of Columbia doc. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and reshare. Make sure everybody sees this. It's a very short show tonight. Executive orders coming from the office and vaccines. Okay. Very short. Any and all mandatory orders are hereby classified as canceled foreign instruments, thereby issued by an unauthorized and foreign totalitarian dictatorship. No peaceful inhabitants are required to accept a vaccine, submit to a test, or suffer any form of persecution for not participating in any public hysteria, nor are they forced to believe in the religion of science. Science is a religion, folks. They're asking you to believe in something you cannot see. Okie dokie. That is a religion. All right. Making a god out of their craft there. All right. Mask mandates right there. Now, if you want to, you can just leave a comment and ask if there's any other executive orders you like written. No peaceful inhabitant is required to wear a mask of any kind within the states of the Union and the United States of America. All mandates to wear masks are hereby classified as totalitarian dictatorships, issuing mandates that are without authority nor standing to issue a mask mandate order. Everybody has said this. Judges in different parts of the world have said this is all unconstitutional. There's no orders here. That's it. Stop the hysteria. It's all crap. That's it. Stop it. Okay, now executive orders remove travel restrictions. All travel restrictions are hereby removed from all interstate public transport. Yes, we have interstate commerce jurisdiction. Any and all orders are to the contrary hereby classified as canceled foreign instruments, thereby issued by an unauthorized and foreign totalitarian dictatorship. That would be China. No peaceful inhabitant is required to adhere to any travel restrictions. That's it. These, technically, by law, these orders block everything Biden's doing. Why? Because we told you before, everybody knows it. National Guard knows it. U.S. military knows it. They all sat there and watched a man that was not voted in. They watched fraud happen. They watched everything and turned their backs on Trump. They all sat and watched it. So they're commander in chief. Okay? So if you can trust somebody that will turn on their own commander in chief and stab them in the back like they did by not doing the right thing, then you're going to trust them now? Quit being foolish. I might be completely wrong. Might be completely wrong. There might be a plan. The Pentagon might be withholding some things from Biden. More troops may be going to Washington, D.C. Blah, de blah. There's a bunch of troops up in the north. There's a bunch of Chinese troops in the south. There might be planning a thing where they say, okay, we'll go after Biden. Then the Chinese come in and try to take over. may be the reason why there's so many people there in Washington, D.C. Or nothing's going to happen. It's going to go back to pay to play. Everything's going to go. That's all the corruption is, by the way. It's pay to play. They pay people. People pay their businesses and their private companies and foundations and shit money to go in and see him in his office. His son does the whole deal, knows how everything works, and they're all in on it. And it didn't take them 3 days to do it. 3 days, folks. They're reversing all of everything that Trump did, go back to pay to play, and the military knows about it. Everyone knows about it. NSA knows about it, and yet they'll do nothing about it. And back to what it was. The only thing I know that's happening is that Trump is starting a new political party. He's probably already started it. When he starts mentioning it, he's probably already got it finished. That's usually how he operates. And he's going to try to knock out the Republicans and Democrats. And that's it. That's all I can see happening, actually happening. It's a sad thing. I'm sorry to see. I'm sorry to hear it. I wouldn't trust any of those boys. I think the lower ranks may have loved Trump, and I think that they were loyal to him. But guess what they did? They followed orders. And when you follow orders, what happens? What happened in the Nuremberg trials when they followed orders? You followed unlawful orders. You're not required to do that. So, is what it is. There's nothing anybody can do about it. It's hard to deal with. Yeah, they did. They took your votes. Yes, they silenced you. That's exactly what they did. Your vote didn't matter. But we told you that years ago. Actually, 4 years ago. That your vote didn't count. None of it counted. And they cheat like crazy. And you support them. You know, so what can we say? It's like this, okay? If a man is beating his wife and his wife comes back and says, I love him, I support him, and all this, and demonizes you for protecting her, what do you think is going on in this scenario? You keep supporting the husband that beats the crap out of you. And then if someone points it out and tries to protect you from it, you demonize them. And that's exactly what's going on. That's how sick it is. Okay? Now, we're going to do our best with these executive orders. It's up to the people that are loyal to America to follow them and enforce them. The one thing that doesn't change is you're going to have to get into assemblies. You're really going to have to get into assemblies and get these things put together so that you can start writing laws or stopping all these orders and that kind of crap in your counties. Okay? We can only do so much, but you're going to need help. All right? And we've got all that set up. Everything's set up really nice, actually. So that being said, I'm going to describe to you what the New World Order is, and it's going to be coming over here, and you're going to see and understand it. The videos and of the Dark Light series, okay, in a spiritual sense, does explain what the New World Order is, and does explain the two separate types of love, and those are the things that you need to deal with, okay? Now, the New World Order is very simple, and I'm going to show you what they said in the Declaration of Interdependence. Once again, and I don't think I brought this up before. I did bring up the last part of it, but I didn't bring up this part. Now, listen to this very carefully so that you can understand what you're up against and what these people are trying to do. They believe no man actually does things if he believes he's got a ill intent or an evil intent. Evil does believe that it's doing that which is righteous, usually most of the time. That's what they do. That's what drives them, okay? To establish a new world order of compassion, peace. Now, this was done by the Democrats, okay? This was the Declaration of Interdependence of 1976. This actually was done. And they did it without telling a soul. To establish a new world order of compassion, peace, justice, and security. Now that sounds like love, right? That's love. That's filial love. That's a man's love. Remember we were telling you, or told you last week, that they were pushing a religion of man worship, which is exactly what they're doing in these groups. Man worships. I'm not a corporation. I'm a living being. Thou shalt rise and fall when I walk into the room. Blah, 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 blah. That's how they operate. Okay. It is essential that mankind free itself. See, they're trying to give you freedom, folks. Y'all get that? They're freeing you. That's what they believe. You just don't know better. Okay? From the limitations of national prejudice. So, if you say that I'm not Mexican and I'm not from Mexico, that's prejudice. See, you're being a national prejudice here. That's why they call them white supremacists. That's a national prejudice. If you say that you're American, if you say that you're European, but you're not African, then you're being prejudiced. See, they want to get rid of all that. Starting to make sense? And acknowledge that the forces that unite it are imperably deeper than those that divide it. That all people are part of the one global community, dependent on one body of resources, bound together by the ties of common humanity and associated in a common adventure on the planet Earth. And if because they were completely and utterly appalled by the deplorables that wanted a southern border to keep drugs from coming over. They were appalled at that. You were so prejudiced, national prejudice. You want a nationality, you want borders. When we all should be free, blah, blah, blah crap. Okay? Now, what this is, and what you'll find, and when you start listening to the Dark Light series, is this is man's love. That's what he's got to offer here. And right here, to establish a new world order of compassion, peace, justice, and security, the Pope has already said that Jesus failed. And what they're doing is they're putting together a new world order against God. They are comparing their love to God's love. It's a completely different love. And their argument at the last in the judgment day, just before everybody gets pushed into the lake of fire. This is their argument, that man was greater in compassion because he accepted that which God had abolished, or called it an abomination, that which he rejected. They would accept. This is true. This is literally what's going on. They're trying to fight the Father. So the New World Order is nothing more than man's love that is trying to prove that God's love is inferior and that he's wrong. That's all it is. Which causes you to have to do what? To pick a side. Now, you're either going to pick our Father in Heaven's side on this deal, or you're going to pick the New World Order side. So everything they're doing here, they have convinced themselves that they are doing it out of love. Y'all get that? We have masks that need to be put on you because we love you, and you need to accept that love. That's what they're telling you. That's what they're trying to tell you. It's the most irritating love. I would say I would really rather you just don't like me and you walk away, because I don't like your love. I don't like your kind of love. Your kind of love is a little sick. A little sick. That's all I'm saying. So please don't spew that crap on me. That's a notice, by the way. I really would. I don't want your love. Your love is a little weird, and it's kind of stalking. You like to stalk people. They like to go around and find them. Okay. Now, this is, I'm going to show you a little bit about man's love, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this, this particular broadcast. Okay, folks, this is man's love. This is how awesome he is. He's going to help they love this woman so much. They're going to help this woman. They love her. And they have compassion for her. And it's superior to all others. See, now they're destroying her hate for other people. They're destroying her. She's hate. And it takes 10 guys to do it, you know. Little punks. That's the joke that everybody is going to see on Judgment Day. Man tried to defend himself, not realizing how stupid he is and how he looks to everybody else. Okay? So that's their love. That's love for you right there. They're trying to show you their love. I'm not kidding. That is exactly the kind of crap they're trying to pull on people. And those cops think that, you know, they think they're doing right. They're protecting, you know, the society and everything else. And this woman's just being hateful. So when you say things like, no, we want our borders up so we can be protected, we don't have criminals coming in here and all that stuff. Oh, that's just, you know, you're spewing prejudice. You're spewing national prejudice. And now they're going to come after you because they have to correct you. See, that's what this whole, we're going to go after Christians and stuff is. That's what this is all about. And they've convinced everybody that that's what this is. This is out of love. This is not out of hate at all. They convinced the people around them that that's what this is about. Okay? And believe me, anything I'm talking about when it comes to man's love, I am mocking. I'm telling you right now, man's love is horrible. It is highly insufficient. It doesn't even compare. Okay? There's not even a comparison there. It's a complete joke. Human beings' love right now is horrible. When people say, I don't love you and all that, thank you. I appreciate it. Because it's horrible. You're confusing love with, what's the word? Because you don't have any love in you. You're just everything's really selfish. There's a couple of words for that. And that would be aid and comfort. Aid and comfort is what you're looking for. You're looking at comfort. You're misinterpreting comfort for love. And that's basically it. And you learn that when you go down the narrow way, okay, in the narrow path. And especially if you reach the end of it. So just wanted to let you know what this was about. They're going to talk a lot of crap. They're going to do a lot of things. But this is a spiritual fight. And it's a spiritual fight against the lake of fire. These people believe more than you do. Understand? More than you do. The reason why this is what they're being told. If you can get rid of the Christians, because the Christians think of a national sovereignty and they think of a country and all these things. If you can get rid of them, then you can establish compassion, peace, justice, and security and get rid of that national prejudice. That's exactly what these guys are doing. And that's the people that are pushing this. They believe they're right. They're going to find out later on they're dead wrong. And I mean really wrong. Okay, so hopefully this helps everyone understand a little bit more about what is being brought upon you and what's happening now. I'm hoping that the U.S. military has not gone full communist. I know there are communists in there. I know there are a lot of them. That's an absolute fact. And I don't believe the lower levels, in other words, the lower ranks have gone communist. I think that they just don't know. But the one thing they did know is they knew that there's a problem with the votes. They knew that there was fraud there, and they knew that was Antifa that went in there. They were told to go in there anyways, and they set up their this, that, and the other thing, and they allowed a Chi-Com traitor to be placed in an office as their commander-in-chief, which stabbed the back of the one that was going out, that was actually voted in. That means everything you're doing is out of order. It is out of authority, has nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Actually, I never did, but let's just go into their brain for a minute. Try to talk sense to them. All right. So thanks for listening to the 112th broadcast of the T-ROH Show. We will see you next week.